here we are with Robbie. He had his free play, and we're about to go on our training walk. This is the leash. You can see right here, it's got a handle. As you go down it, there is this black button you can push, which moves this up and down. What this black button does is it just makes the slip lead looser or tighter. So if it gets up, it can only ever get this loose. Shh, Robbie, So we have this way. This O-ring is going to go right behind Robbie's ears. This figure 8 ring right here is going to go under his neck. And then this piece is going to go over his nose. This little piece right here is his safety, just connects to his collar. To put it on, I like to make it extra big so I'm not trying to squeeze the space into something too small. So I have my O-ring, my figure 8, and my nose piece. I'm going to go over his head with the big one, and then over his nose with the small one. He does get really excited to put it on, so you kind of have to move a little quicker. He just gets so excited to be wearing it and go on the walk. You can see it's offset. This O-ring is on the side of his head. So I'm going to move the O-ring towards the middle while I move the nose piece the opposite direction. So here he's excited, so I'm just telling him to just chill. There, now we're right in the middle. I'm going to push this button and tighten it down so when I lift up the weight of an apple, it's about 1 inch of give there. I'm going to grab the keeper. I'm going to attach it to his collar down here. Just so if for some reason he gets this off the nose and this off his neck, there's one more form of safety. Now that on the leash, I talked about how I like to do the slip lead around my wrist so that I can hold Guppy off.
Guppy, come here.
Off. So that I can just hold on with fingertips. So we're sitting here chilling. Guppy off. To go through the house, I'm going to have him put his bum down before we go in. And I'll have him put his bum down once we make it inside. So lift up the weight of an apple. I notice it's a little loose. I'm going to tighten that up. Open the door. I loosen up the leash. I step through. But in order to get him to come, I just give a little tug. Once we get in, we sit. We're going to do the same thing through each door.
Can you show us again? Yeah.
What? Loosen up the leash. I go through. I step. I move. Hello, how's it going? It's good to see you. Come on in. Welcome to my house. Hello. So we're just getting him used to me moving and me saying, and he's just got to sit there calm, cool, and collected until I give this tug on the leash. All right, now I'll let you talk.
All right, so now that we've stayed calm, cool, and collected on both sides of the door, okay, and he's able to open and close that door without responding or moving. We're getting excited. Okay, this helps prevent the dogs from bolting out the doors. Okay, the door is not the cue. The cue is that physical touch where they get pulled or encouraged forward with the tug of that leash. Okay, so you can see Robbie, he's walking right at Jennifer's heel. Okay, there she did what we call a rollback. So he was pulling ahead a little bit, so she just stopped, held tight on that leash, took 3 or 4 steps back, and then continued forward. There, she's doing it again. 3 or 4 steps back, and then continuing forward. Okay, we want Robbie's head to be right at Jennifer's side. You can see her hand. Let me see if I can get a better shot. Her left hand with the leash in it is at her back pocket. Okay, and he is on the leash. Now there, you can see the flick. Okay, so he's a little bit at the end of that leash. You can see he kind of gets to where that leash goes straight right there. And she gives that little flick. So the flick is one tool that we use. That rollback, which we saw a minute ago, was one tool that we use. Okay, now she's gonna start doing some zigzags or serpentines. Okay, when we get real smart dogs that know where we're going, right? They know we're headed home. They know how to get there, and they can get us there a lot faster. So just hang on, because here we go. Okay, with those dogs, this serpentine pattern works really well because we're just changing up our routine. We're changing our direction patterns. We're changing how we move, and that keeps the dogs paying attention to us and watching our movements rather than knowing where we're going and how to get there a lot faster. Okay, so she's just doing zigzags. It's just an irregular pattern so that the dog has to pay attention, so that Ravi has to pay attention to her and her movements. You can see Ravi's a little bit ahead of her at times, so she's changing direction again. Okay, there's a dog across the street that's caught his attention. Okay, there. So she walks until he hits the end of that leash, and then she changes direction. So she's just changing her direction so that he... Right, I mean, he's just doing those zigzags or the serpentine patterns, okay, so that we can go that way. You can see there, she just did a full direction change or a full turnaround. Okay, so if someone's up ahead or we're headed home and he's really encouraging to go home, okay, we're gonna turn around. You can see the nice loose leash there, which is really good. There, he hit the end of the leash. There, she turned around. Okay, so that's another one, just a full turnaround, full direction change. Okay, a lot of times they're like, oh, I really want to go that way. I really want to get home faster, whatever that case might be. But then when we turn, so they start pulling on us. So when we turn around, they're like, oh, we're not going home, or oh, I don't get to go there. Okay, and to get to go in that direction, we want them to be calm, right? So we're going to turn around until he's nice loose leash like he is there, and then we're going to do another direction change and head back in that direction. And as long as he stays on that nice loose leash, we can continue to head in that direction. So those are our 5 main tools. Those are 4, a what? Along with that patient sit, right? So you have that lift and sit, which we work on all the time, that we've shown lots of, and there's that patient sit. And again, they should be able to do this patient sit for any amount of time, right? The amount of time it takes you to greet a neighbor, to check your mail, to eat out at a restaurant. Okay, this patient sit is the one that's really important to build on because they're learning to be patient and calm. And the hardest part about going on a walk is doing nothing on that walk and just being patient and sitting and just relaxing. And so even though we're just sitting here, again, this is still very much a part of that mental training because they are just patiently sitting. Okay. So those are the 5 tools that we use. Those are the 5 tools that you can continue to use. We just changed the tools up so that one tool doesn't become overused. Okay, sometimes if you're just always flicking or always doing other things, they kind of become accustomed to those. Okay, so we did our long walk, as long or short as you have time for, right? We're just doing a quick short one here for the video purpose. And then we're gonna go inside. There you see how he gave a little tug. He wanted to speed up as he went up those stairs. Okay, and we're gonna head back inside for some time on the bed. There he got up before she gave him that physical tug. Okay, again, the door isn't the cue. This is the cue right there. Okay, and he goes inside. He goes back to that calm, patient sit on the other side, which is awesome. And then we're gonna go inside here, up onto the bed. She gives that lift. He puts his bum down. Great, so then she's gonna loosen him up. And at this point, we're just gonna leave it around his neck. How we talked about at the beginning, we leave it around his neck so that he's easier to catch if he gets off, so that we can encourage him to get back on. Now, once he's on the bed, we're gonna give him a good rub down, right? We want the bed to be the happiest place on earth, okay? So a good rub down, a nice little massage. This is a great time just to kind of do a quick nose to tail check, to thoroughly check for burrs or hot spots on his pads or scrapes, cuts, whatever. This is a great time to go through every part to make sure he's comfortable with us. Touching his toes, touching his feet, touching his tail, rubbing his belly, all those different things. Okay, and then you can see, let me scoot back so I get a better picture. Okay, Jennifer started to do those kind of half circles around the bed. Okay, we do this at first. Okay, just kind of at the beginning of the training, you can see she didn't do too many. Okay, that's just to kind of refresh his memory on, that boundary which he's staying on. And then we're just gonna go about our daily lives, right? We're just gonna go about cooking breakfast. We're just gonna go about cleaning the house. We're just gonna go about whatever it is that we're gonna do while he practices there on the bed, okay? She's gonna bring over his breakfast this morning, okay? Because again, we want everything happy to happen on the bed, right? So we'll have his breakfast there. Usually we have a water bowl next to him so that he can have water. And And we're just gonna go about our life. Okay, we don't have to dedicate specific time at this point just to sit there and watch him. Okay, we don't want to sit there and watch him. We want him to be able to do this on his own. So we're just gonna go about our lives, cooking, cleaning, working, whatever that case might be. And we're gonna watch him. We're gonna be in the same room so that we can be paying attention. Okay, we can't totally be off in a different spot. But we want to be attentive enough that if he makes that mistake or he gets off, we can correct that. Again, a quick reminder, you can see he is standing up to eat his breakfast, and that's totally fine. If they're standing while eating, they're okay. If they finish eating and they continue to stand, then we're gonna go correct that. And in a nutshell, that's a quick summary of how to get started. Going from free play, putting the leash on, going out through the doors, okay, and working through those spots there, those different tools on the walk to help remind him to keep that loose leash, and then back in here into the bed for that. Now,
so he's had free play. You just saw the training walk. You just saw the bed. We're going to chill on the bed for a couple hours, but I want to show you what the reflection space is because there's lots of confusion sometimes with the reflection space. So for us, this is the reflection space. He's got a water bucket, he's got a bed, he's got a room. There's no windows, there's no distractions. He's not watching you and seeing what you're doing. He's not watching people walk by. It's just a place for him to reflect on how good he is, how good the training was, how he can improve, what he can do better, and it's just gonna expedite your training if you have that time for him to decompress and think about what he did good, what he can improve on, and just have some downtime before he jumps right back into free play again.